Not gonna lie. Kind of worried for LeBron tonight. Kind of worried for him that the greatest basketball player of our generation is playing a nationally televised game right before his. I am kind of worried that he's going for a scoring record and Cam Thomas is going to steal the show tonight. Cam Thomas is going to steal the show on TNT tonight that nobody's going to want to watch basketball after we're done with Cam Thomas in the first game. There is no shot anyone's going to be left tuning into that LeBron game. No chance.
What would you rather see? Cam Thomas go for 40 points for a third straight game, breaking some sort of record, I'm sure, as far as youngest player to do that. He already tied or is up there with LeBron for scoring back-to-back 40-point games, being as young as he is right now. What would you rather see? Cam Thomas or LeBron James scored a measly 36? Who cares?
People are asking if we are watching LeBron and LeBron Jr. back-to-back tonight. People are asking. I mean, it's not me. I'm just saying. Are these the two greatest basketball players of all time going back-to-back tonight?
Many are saying. I love these younger generation of hoopers though. Like Cam Thomas is a Kobe stan, so he went out of his way whenever somebody at the podium brought up you're the second youngest person to score 40 points back to back since LeBron. He went out of his way to be I'm more of a Kobe guy, so it would have been cool if it was Kobe instead. The way these younger players just obsess over guys like Kobe, it cracks me up, dude.
I love that so much.
Yeah, but that's how you know he's got that dog. That's how you know. Yeah, he's going for 40 again. And the haters and the projections are resting in so much piss right now.
That's me last night. I had 100 lineups and I had 3 Cam Thomas lineups. So we got rugged. We got absolutely.
Told you guys. I tried to tell you, man. He's a hooper.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's see. Well, I'd be interested to see where people come out on it today, right? Cam Thomas going
Chad just saw him go 104.
Oh my God, there you go. Hey, shout out to Chad. Third place last night or second place last night? One of the two. Could have had her last night.
Yeah, big score.
Badge Brigade doing work, and then Ben taking down the puck streets too. So I mean, Badge Brigade's all over the place, dude. All over the place. Love to see it.
We're swarming.
Yeah, not us three, but everybody else.
Yeah, if you don't tune into Badge Bros, you're drawing dead. That's what do they call that? Table stakes.
No? Yeah, table stakes. Badge Bros table to entry right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Fade these guys. Fade these guys when they bring up Cam Thomas, and you'll be fine. Oh, shit, man. Yeah, this is what I thought last night. NYC bringing it up. This is what I thought last night. The Sumner pivot game. I had so much 6th-round Sumner. Oh, man. You gotta
understand, Cam Thomas gets the greenest light you've ever seen whenever there's not a better scorer on the floor. It's just it's his night. That's what he does, man. That's just he's filled up the cup all his years in the league.
Yeah. Newbie, what's good, dude? We're gonna rip some drafts here or what, man?
Yeah, we're not drafting Cam Thomas. That's for sure. We're not drafting Cam Thomas. Good luck. If you want to have Cam Thomas bury you again, go for it. But we're not drafting him, especially at that price. We've already got in on Cam Thomas earlier last night. We got about 4, 5, 6-round shares, more like.
Oh, look at you!
So, okay.
So we got him back then. Also, fun thing. Just real quick, don't know if you want to lean into possible just out at that Q tag position where you can get that 6-round Q tag. I don't know if Spencer Dinwiddie's gonna play because I don't know if he's gonna be a net.
Right.
They could just I really think they sit him out and then try and trade it. Obviously if they are still trying to trade him, they're gonna sit him out and not play him.
Yeah,
and then trade him. But
they were trying to bring a third team into the deal, so the deal wasn't officially official when it got talked about and stated yesterday I guess Sunday, and then it was official after, and now it's official. But what Numi's saying is they might still be trying to work a third team by doing the deal after the fact, right? Because they've been down that Dinwiddie train before.
Exactly. So anyway, that's just one one little fun thing is he's a Q tag right now. So I'm thinking he sits. And if he does play, I'm hoping that it's not like, 15 minutes. Oh, here you're back in like a role position on this team when really he should get all of the minutes over Cam Thomas and all those boys.
Right.
So it's like I'm hoping I don't just get rugged in that scenario where it's like it's either he's a smash pick or he sits in there. But anyway, we'll get into that later. But yeah, that's just one thing I think before the news comes out, if it potentially does on this show, that would be a good thing to put in some 6th round where you get that swap and
you get swap with Dinwiddie.
Especially the Derek White, Robert Williams plays where all of a sudden Jaylen Brown gets ruled out, and now those plays are now thrusted up smashes, and now you can just litter them in early lineups and all the lineups.
See, I think maybe I'm an idiot because last night I was like, "Oh, this is wheels up for 1.4 fantasy
if
point
you
per
say
minute
Malcolm
player
Brogdon,
in
I'm
Malcolm Brogdon."
Don't even
That's what I was doing.
Don't even get me started. We can do we every night we should literally have Numi's Clown Fest with Chad, because Chad lays out the reasoning of why you should put this and do this, put this swap here, take this guy in the 6th round, and I go, I'm going to do Brogdon, but I literally
That's what I did.
I know Robert Williams is now going to smash because you said he's going to go in there. He goes, well, just let me know. I'm only doing it because I don't have much and I've drafted Brogdon. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. You've already set in stone. You know the script. And I go, no, I'm going to do Brogdon. And what happens in basically the first half? 25 fantasy points from Derek White and like 8 or like 12 from Brogdon. I'm just like, this is
that fell flat on it.
And then Keldon Johnson, like 22 fantasy points in the first half, 24 to end the game.
Yeah. The Keldon Johnson was my second highest owned player behind the pool party, baby. The pool party.
Oh, yeah.
The pool party kind of got home. The pool party kind of got home at the end, but Clay was probably the piece he needed.
Didn't Clay have 42 real points, but like 43 fantasy points or 43? Yeah. He just
crazy, man.
Yeah, hilarious.
He was just a walking bucket.
Yeah. Let's start with the big game, and then let's just rip drafts today because I just want to have some fun. It's just one of those mornings where it was just kind of like, I'm not fully invested in the Super Bowl yet. Like, I know there's media day going on. I know, like, the excitement's slowly building up, but I'm fully not there yet. Like, yesterday was like getting our feet wet with Pete again. But, we're going to start hammering some of this Super Bowl content as we go, the big game.
Yeah, you're gonna get Roger Goodell is gonna shut this shit down if you say that. If you say those words ever again.
I've heard we're on his radar. We're on his radar,
and not the good one, not the good radar, not the good radar, because we keep breaking rules over here.
Santa's naughty list.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick because Chip is speculating on fake news, and. I'm just kidding, but that's not correct. According to my intel, he can be traded again, and it's low key likely.
Yeah, I think that's being signed. Once you get signed in the offseason, you have to wait till like a day in December, and then those guys can officially be traded. So that's why it's like I just know that from NBA 2K, where it's like, oh, why can't I trade these guys yet? Why can't I do this? It's like you have to wait for a date, and that's an actual rule, and it still is. So
yeah, I'm Team Blake here. Last night's slate was hot garbage, other than our boy Chad coming in third. That was the only good thing that happened last night. Let's turn the page. Let's go foosball here. Silas saying, he's got a legit sweat this weekend.
He
Love
does,
to
man.
see it.
I'm pumped for him.
Brother. Is that what contest? Is it the
gauntlet? The gauntlet 2. So the first gauntlet was 100K to first. The second gauntlet was 200K to first. And he pulled off.
That's EV, right? Yeah, he said, I know what's gonna happen. So I know it's gonna be 200 for this one. So I'm just gonna wait.
He pulled off a really sick 5-person final team. So
nice.
I mean, yeah. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for him.
Like
man.
He has 5 live people, or what do you mean?
Yeah. He has 5 people in the Super Bowl live.
Oh, right. Is that wait? So it's like I'm not tapped in. Is that a lot?
Well, Numi, are you serious? It's the Chiefs and the Eagles. They both had buys
double
in
bye
the
week
first round.
Yeah.
We literally been talking about that like all playoff draft.
Brother, did all my early drafts as soon as the Vikings lost literally have shut off the brain. Don't even know.
You don't even know how the seeding works in the NFL playoffs.
I understand the seeding works, but like I was just assuming there's been a large contest, something snuck through. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Seven of the final, seven
only
teams.
7 teams in the finals have 5 players. That's incredible.
Jeez.
So
all right.
hopefully that comes to fruition for Silas, because couldn't
A
happen
lot of
to a
money
better guy.
regardless.
Love
man.
to see
So,
that.
Yeah.
That's
Hopefully, hopefully there's points scored. That's all that matters. Hopefully there are
Yes.
points.
Yeah.
scored.
I just want to watch a good damn football game.
Yeah. Let's talk about this individual contest. We've had a little bit of news, and there's a little bit of leverage existing. Tony now has that big, nice eye beside him, and I'm seeing him go.
Shit.
Yeah, he's going above Juju and whatnot now. The Pacheco McKinnon narrative still kind of exists here, where Pacheco's going ahead, but ETR and some of the models have McKinnon ranked ahead. Maybe a little bit of leverage there. I just want to talk about, like, in general, like we talk about, like, scroll the F down and in this contest and get weird. I just want to, like, say, like, a big overarching. If you are going to play this contest this weekend and you're going to put 10 entries in, you're going to put $50 in it, just count it as your Super Bowl entertainment. Think of it as a sunk cost. Get weird as fuck, and don't expect this to be like your ROI, right? Like, don't think about it in that regard. If you are going to play 100 entries and you are going to play the cash games and you're going to play some of the $25 and the $100, then by all means, develop a strategy, track your teams, go from spot to spot, try and get your best exposure thresholds. Think about it in that regard. So I think there's 2 ends of the spectrum here, and I don't want to hover in that middle ground. I don't want to hover in that, like, hey, I got 30 in, but maybe I'm playing for real, maybe I'm not. I'm going to be straight. This is kind of like a big bankroll endeavor. But like Nez has said multiple times now, both on Pete's show and on our own here, it is a very, very profitable endeavor if you are comfortable putting up the cash for this given week. The problem being, you have to put up some money to put yourself in that position. If you put up $100 into this and you just do one contest, think about it as your fun expenditure for the Super Bowl for that day.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important when you play these games to have those expectations, because I think if we get a little too hopeful, then you kind of end up getting yourself kind of like into a rut and into a hole where you're like, you are like living and dying by these entry fees. And when you get to that point, then you kind of venture into a place that's not fun anymore. So just having those expectations, I think, is definitely important, and a nice little like preface for this.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say that because we didn't really harp on it on Pete's show yesterday, but I think it's a good overarching. I want to reiterate like 2 or 3 takes. Do the deep dive. I'm going to say it over and over again on the kicker scoring. They're not bad plays. They're just, their floors aren't as safe as we think they are, based on the scoring system on Underdog versus FanDuel and DraftKings. The first 7 off the board are basically the exact same in any order, over and over and over again. It's kind of like this. And then the draft begins with this kind of Pacheco, MVS, McKinnon, Juju, Tony, the double kickers, and then the quote unquote scroll the F down tier, where I am really warming up to a couple names comparative to the others. No shock to anybody that I still like Justin Watson. CEH is a very fun conversation that we're going to have multiple times here, because the range of outcomes with CEH is so extreme, right? If he came out as lead back to start off the game, would it surprise anybody? No.
I think the most interesting part of the CEH deal is that Jerick McKinnon has not had like a super awesome role in these last 2 games with the Chiefs, and it kind of opens the door for them to like give CEH a shot again, because it's because it's not like McKinnon is out here like being a world beater, getting a ton of volume. Like, they've been giving Pacheco a lot of stuff. He is a rookie. He isn't fantastic. He's the best they've got, but man, it really feels like CEH is going to have a legit role in this game, and is probably, like, I don't want to get too far into like hyperbole, but probably a really, really bad ADP on CEH right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of feel similarly there. I feel similarly about the Tony ADP. Like the fact that we've gotten the go ahead that he's going to play. Like the big news nuggets so far have obviously been the McCole Hardman out, Tony projected in, Juju still with the Q tag, but I expect him to play. And then the CEH activation. Now the CEH activation, I don't want to get like too far ahead of ourselves because there was a roster spot. There was a free roster spot because of the McCole Hardman injury, right? Being designated for IR. There was a, hey, we are going to bump someone. And him and McCole Hardman had their IR window start at the exact same time. And McCole Hardman was the one that they opted for first. Whether CH was ready or not, that's a completely different conversation. But they opted for that first. Now he's been bumped. I doubt they have 4 active running backs for the Super Bowl. There is still a chance that even though he's been bumped up to the 53-man, that he is inactive and they go with Ronald Jones in the Super Bowl. I don't think it's likely because why activate him at all then and just pick somebody else? But yeah. I'm just saying range of outcomes. Yeah, I don't know. There, Zach Pascal, a name I've been warming up to, 30% of snaps last week, kind of be utilized as a third wide receiver closer to the goal line opposed to Quez. Quez kind of more the stretch the field, and when they go 3 wide without Dallas Goedert on the field, kind of thinking through some of that. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just rip some drafts here, sure. Unless Numi has anything to add in terms of player takes at the bottom here. Numi?
Nope.
No? Nothing. Good. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and rip one. I will say, if you guys haven't watched our Pete's stream yesterday, like our segment was fun, but his thing with Justin Freeman, I believe his first name is Justin. I just know him as Freeman. With Run the Sims, I think like is very applicable to our game here because they focus a lot on like finding a non-duplicated lineup in traditional showdown. And I think those same principles absolutely apply to this game here. Like the pieces that you need to like not get duped. And some of those names in the simulations, like, oh my gosh, I was getting like acid reflux seeing like players, like I was learning their names for the first time. Like that, the fullback for Kansas City, like holy shit.
Burton.
Yeah, Burton. Oh my God.
He's way down. Way down here, Michael Burton, not Michael Bolton.
This is not This is not me advocating for anybody to take Michael Burton, but I'm just saying like those conversations that they were having, I think are very applicable to this contest here, and kind of got my wheels turning a little bit as far as what I can do to like set myself up to be in a unique position to win a lot of money as opposed to splitting 50K 1,000 ways.
Speaking of unique position, I've been doing a lot of naked Jalen Hurts from the front and then going 3 Chiefs on the back end and being like, hey, all the touchdowns funnel through him. Let's do a little old school flipping of the board.
Yes.
Something that I have been preaching but not practicing on stream. So I'm going to do it for everybody right here. And just flip the shit out of this. Kelsey outscores Mahomes. Kelsey outscored Mahomes 3 times this season. So is it likely? Probably not. But let's flip that board. Let's see what kind of unique combination we can get by putting Kelsey at the front end of the board. Something we've talked about multiple times. We talked about a little bit yesterday, but something we have not done on stream yet. So just to illustrate that we're not complete and utter frauds, we are going to do it right now.
It doesn't feel awful. The only reason it feels bad is because there's 116 entrants in this contest. And when you get in a draft, you just see it's easy to get anchored to ADP in this because we think these outcomes are so concrete and like set in stone. And it's not as in PPR, especially in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, all his weapons are injured. Why can't it be Travis Kelce outscoring everybody?
If Travis Kelce ends up as the Super Bowl MVP with 10 catches, 120 yards, and the only 2 touchdowns for the Chiefs, would anyone be surprised?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Numi, is there anything that you're seeing like with these like player ADPs or anything that you think is like a little too anchored in like what is a potential outcome? Like specifically, I think with like maybe like Pacheco in the MVS Jerick McKinnon tier. Sorry, we can make these picks, but I like your game theory thoughts in these contests.
I think this is going to be a scroll to F down at Philly spot, and I think the team only makes sense if we take the 2 highest ADP players because they're conceivably the least likely to fall, which means they're the ones most frequently paired with Jalen Hurts, which means we want to flip the build and pair them with Kelsey. Because if we scroll down now, you just end up with the exact same Kelsey build as everybody else, but on the other end of the board.
That's a good thought. And
so
I like Pacheco. The thing, I like the theory. So I think MVS is good.
I think this is a purely theoretical draft because I like Jerick McKinnon more than both of these players.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a pure ADP theory right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. No. I like the thought. Honestly, like I wasn't thinking that, but that makes a lot of sense.
I got another thought here before. This one with GA here. We have seen a Mahomes Kelsey team. I do not know how many there are going to be if they end up existing. Blah blah blah. Right? Like that is not our conversation to have. We cannot determine that. We have seen this. So from a thesis standpoint, maybe it makes more sense to flip the board by taking AJ Brown at the first pick.
I think just
that
getting
exists.
unique at the 101 is probably your best way of doing it. Is just like full fading the quarterbacks because there's going to be some really nasty QB combos and just like screw the quarterbacks. So maybe that I just answered my own question that I threw out to Newby. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I literally I've done 0 of these contests. I'm so. If I'm doing it, it'll be a smaller field one. This large field $5 is just nonsense. In my eyes, like I'd rather just get destroyed in hoops daily. Is my thought.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys can do whatever you want here, but
do we go with Boston Scott falling into the end zone and that being like the one score from their side, or do we play it as because it's a KC onslaught? You just need like 2 Jake Elliott field goals.
Let's do the Jake Elliott one, I think.
Yeah, I think it kind of makes more sense in this construction.
Mm-hmm. But I would have said probably Elliott or Scott.
Yeah.
Really, really tough for me to get to anybody outside of like the Eagles receivers. Yeah, Pascal's getting run. He's a nice, unique pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's so hard for me to conceive them being a score you need.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because like if you think about it, there could be 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns in the game, but maybe only 3 or 4 of them actually count. You know what I mean? If there's defensive touchdowns or stuff like that, and that could then change the outlook of the way the game is starting to play in terms of who gets the touchdowns and whatnot. We know that the Eagles are very influenced in the way that like how the game flow is going, and we know Sirianni will all of a sudden not be the one to Kyle Shanahan it, where it's like, all right, we're up this and let's just keep passing it and never run the ball again. We know their offense, so it's just I think of things like that, and I think of just the way the game can go. And I'm like in this large one, like my strategy would be to play like 20, like you said, play 20-30 max. No, it's basically a good fun. Like I'm punting $100 to $150, hoping to have a good sweat and a good time. But I would just make these lineups as just kind of as crazy within line as you can. Like that would be my thing. Is like the 4 running back thing. Like, you know what I mean? Get 3 running backs from that team. Things like that where CEH comes back, falls into the end zone, but then so does another Kansas City one.
Look at that, flip the build from AJ Brown from the front end. I like it. I like that.
And then for us, I love Patrick Mahomes at the 103 for us as well. So it works out for both parties. You know, you get a unique team at the 101, and we get to do something crazy with Mahomes.
Shout out Grill Belichick showing off that nice red and white new badge there. Respect.
Yeah, I love to see it. It.
And Roofing Man getting the black and white one too. Hadn't had one previous.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, big respects there too. Okay, so classic decision point here. I'm currently Team Sanders over Goddard in a vacuum. Um, and I think it's kind of like this is our one Philly piece, or maybe we end up with two, pending how the rest of the board goes. Do
I
you
think
guys have a
Sanders,
preference?
just
Yeah.
because of playing the ADP game and the unique combination, like usually it's like there's a lot more Goddard Mahomes teams based on ADP than there are Sanders Mahomes
Yeah.
teams based on ADP.
There you
So,
go.
just take it pretty chalky in your first two rounds, and then like you said, this is truly where the draft begins after pick 7. Like 100%.
Yeah, I fully agree there. But yeah, I mean, everybody's preaching the same thing where it's like a lot of people are scared to play. One thing I'll say that I really agree with Justin Freeman yesterday on the show, he was saying on a normal showdown, people like their minds get deterred because the new showdown contest this weekend is 470,000 entries for a showdown slate. And he goes, let's think about this logically. The theory still applies the exact same way. There's just more dupes now.
Yeah.
So when you leverage to be right, you're just right for more money now, right? Like it's like he's like, I invite the fact that there's like 470,000 entries. What do you guys think about jumping this tier, or we could do this and then this or this, like get a double stack? I don't know. It's kind of a weird.
Yeah, I'm cool with MVS there again, just like playing a little ADP game here. Like, yeah, this team will be duped, but it's as far as ADP value goes right now, it's not very common. It would be really dope to see Roofing Man not take Kadarius Toney. That would make me pretty excited. That would be a very fun chalk team. And if he does, then I think, yep, it's okay. It's fine. Team's ruined, but
I think there's a flippening here now with like the Juju and Tony that people feel a lot safer clicking Kadarius Toney's name now.
Right.
Just because of the little green icon versus the Q. I think Juju here makes the most sense. You get a double stack, you get a suppressed Juju value. It'll be duped 1,000 times. So let's go ahead and take CEH. And this team runs through CEH, baby. CEH at the goal line. CEH on the first snap. Let's go, baby.
You just got to tell yourself a story that, Mahomes is going to not throw to Kelsey in this matchup, in this scenario. It's all Miles Sanders on the other side. And you know what? Mahomes is going to surprise somebody and get a touchdown on the ground. That's book it.
I like it.
Take that.
Yeah, I think this is a common thought too, that people would rather draft they'd rather max out the DraftKings showdown than this, because people are scared of the conceivable edge of like someone having a super team and whatnot. I trust Underdog's process. I trust that what they've done consistently all year and thrown out the less than 1%ers and this sort of thing. I trust that process where I am not scared to ape into this contest. I know it's a bankroll endeavor and not everybody feels as comfortable as I do in a contest like this, but I will just put it out there that I would rather auto draft these $5, or I would rather max enter this $5 contest than play against the robots on DraftKings. I would rather play against you idiots drafting against me than play against the optimizer. Like straight up, right? Like it's just the way it is, right?
It's sort of how Dark Sheep in the Discord described it as like a return on entertainment. It's like when you submit that lineup on DraftKings, it's like, all right, like that's it. Like that wasn't fun. Like I just lit that money on fire. But here, the draft is part of the entry fee. Is like you get to actually draft and make active decisions. That's part of the fun. That's why we're here. It's why you guys are watching the shows, because drafting is fun as fuck.
It's so fun, right? So let's keep drafting. I like Paul's point here that Justin's talk about the showdown stuff. I go watch that stream with Pete because it got me excited for this too. And it was like before this, we were talking behind closed doors and we were talking very similarly to the way that the chat is talking right now. Where we're like, not sure if we're going to ape in, kind of nervous about it, probably only going to have a couple bullets, that sort of thing. Then listening to Justin talk about it and being like, okay, yeah, there's definitely some edges to be had here. And like keeping your mind open to drafting throughout the totality of this window is very important too. Like I know people that have maxed out already. Not smart. IMO. Not smart.
Yeah,
it's just about that. You took away any point of potential leverage. I think you think you're smarter than the field, which is entirely fine, but that doesn't mean that the best ADP value has already existed. It could still come. It could still come to fruition. It could still, like, how many lineups do they have with CEH if it was like weeks ago? Like, or last week that you maxed, right? You probably have a bunch of McCole Hardman that you're going to be like, hey, can I swap to CEH because I have McCole Hardman? Or now I'm in this impossible scenario where I end up overweight, right?
Yeah, unless you were like really attacking Tony or potentially Juju, it just doesn't. I wouldn't.
It was far too speculative.
Yeah,
it was far too speculative.
A lot of work too to do that.
Yeah, quick. Especially if you're auto drafting, like you just don't have that big an edge on the field that early. But windows of opportunity to leverage keep opening up. Let's just jump right into the hoop streets, and I will just do what everybody wants me to do, and I'm just going to queue up Cam Thomas. We're going to take him 103. If you guys snipe me on Cam Thomas, I'm fucking over this. I'm leaving the stream. If you guys snipe me on Cam Thomas here, I am trying to win some money today for the first time in the hoop streets ever. And I need Cam Thomas on this team. I have to have Cam Thomas on this team.
Numi, thoughts?
My thoughts are if you take Cam Thomas 103, I'll leave the stream.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Don't fucking tempt me with a good time, Numi. Don't tempt me with a good time.
You don't dare.
Don't you dare.
Come on. I'm surprised LeBron isn't like the 101 though, to be honest.
There's
I'm not saying I would take him there. I'm just surprised.
Yeah, there happens to be a soon to be 3-time MVP.
Did B Burgundy win last night?
He did, I believe.
I think he did.
Or he was up there.
Yeah. Or he was in contention late.
I can give it
when I looked.
A quick ski.
I looked once last night.
He did get the win. Yes,
there
sir.
You go. GG's, Mr. Burgundy.
Well, I won $10 in the full court press, so hats off to me. Why don't you guys
big shouts.
Applause? Thank you.
Oops, guy.
Grinded hard for that.
Big shouts.
Guy. Appreciate you, man.
Are we gonna get sniped? They wouldn't dare, would they?
We're taking LeBron.
Yeah, come on.
LeBron breaks the slate tonight. 90 points, 90 fantasy points. You think this guy's going to stop at 36? He's going to get 36 in the first half.
He is. Could you imagine?
Nationally televised at home versus OKC. He's going to put Josh Giddey in a fucking cement mixer. This guy, Giddey's going to be lying in the front row over top of the fans because he's been put in the blender by LeBron.
I don't think Giddey's going to be the one guarding him.
Not anymore, Numi. Not anymore. He isn't.
I don't think he ever was going to be the guy.
That would be such a buzzkill.
Logic elsewhere.
It would be such a buzzkill if LeBron did not get it tonight. Like if he was because if he was short, he's only going to be like a couple points short. But
for some reason, my Russ senses are tingling. And they're playing OKC.
Oh my god!
He's just going to come out here and be like, you know what? F you, LeBron. You can get it.
No.
You can get it when you play Milwaukee. This is my
That
time.
would be so. That'd be so Russ. That would be so Russ and so funny if he just like completely just ignored history. Like they're not playing for anything this year.
They got one more game at home before nationally televised at Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to break it at Golden State.
They play Milwaukee next, right?
Yeah. On Thursday.
That's Kareem's other team. So,
oh my fuck! I didn't think about this.
Yeah.
So it's Kareem's other team plus Giannis coming to the old Staples crypto, whatever they call it now.
The crypt.
Oh my God, dude, he's literally this. It's
Watch him
Russell
sit.
Westbrook
Yeah,
night.
watch him
It's
sit.
Russell Westbrook night.
Shit.
No, he can't sit. He can't sit because he needs 12 points because he knows he has to get because leaving it up to 36 on a Tuesday versus Giannis is like kind of tough. But if you go
not when they're just like, hey,
he
you take 40 shots tonight, Bron. You want 50? Take them all. Like you got it. You're getting to 36.
Yeah, this is low key bad, right? Like he's gonna drop like 14. This is the thesis.
We're talking so much shit on our third pick.
AD is gonna freaking just like King Kong. Like when Joel Embiid plays, like there's
Brunson.
no one on OKC that can
Brunson.
match.
Brunson versus Orlando.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I like Brunson here. He's the guy that's popping.
I'm over Vooch's Cavs.
I try and sit. I mean, Vooch has been just a model of consistency. You gotta love that, man.
That's true.
Look what he did, and he did that in 28 minutes last night too, right? 23. That's
23 minutes.
Highest point. Look at that. He goes, nah. F your 30 minutes per game. We're gonna get 23 to put up 5 extra than we did. Like,
wow.
Yeah, he's a double many for sure. But Jaren Jackson's blocking his ass.
Oh, that's the thing.
Tonight.
I guess on the slate it's Brooklyn, Chicago, OKC on the back end of a back-to-back. So we like the Brooklyn news is going to be just killer in the fact of what we get in terms of those boys. Chicago. So watch, like if you get anything, and if we've already got it, where it's like Dorian Finney-Smith available to play, but like Spencer Dinwiddie, blah blah blah, not or anything, some weird thing then no, he's going to be like on the block.
Take DeRozan. Take DeRozan.
I'm never.
DeRozan.
As soon as we shift never DeRozan, he's gonna go off. By the way,
never DeRozan. This is my third round secret weapon, boys.
Are we thinking
doesn't he have a
third round secret weapon, boys?
I've been trying to push him to the 5th because of his min's limit.
Not here.
I don't know what he's getting.
Here,
I don't know what.
Cam Thomas on the bring back. Let's go.
Dude,
yeah, he's gonna play 25 minutes.
Dink with the greatest response ever. So it said an NBA underdog transaction. Dwayne Dedman, who's the backup for the Heat, and the second round pick traded to the Spurs. That's all it says. Dink goes to the Heat getting a therapy massage gun in return.
There you go. Too accurate.
Those are highly valuable.
For a washing machine.
Yeah. When we were kids and like guys got traded in like junior because like it was like such a small league and there's like not that much money attached to it, like guys would literally get traded for like suitcases and bags of pucks and shit. Literally, like trade your captain and it's like, what do you want?
That is horrible.
Right, how about this 15-year-old and a bag of pucks? All right.
And a bag of that is horrible.
It was literally that bad.
And this was the day the stream got canceled.
Deleted the Nets and the Suns from the player pool. Yep. I'm about it. Delete
you don't want Paul or Ayton? They got great matchups.
Is Cam Thomas just like a poison pill? Like you just can't touch anybody.
It's only a 6-point spread. The Suns aren't that like the Suns need to like start winning and they're like this is I think if Booker starts, it'll be like the first time that starting lineup is actually being like starting and like healthy. So like I don't know. I if anything I kind of have Claxton and like I've been taking Dinwiddie as that swap equity at the end. I can't force
buyers
myself
or
to
sellers.
Who?
The Suns.
They have not been healthy. So honestly, like if you look at the West and how close it is, I mean, they win, they go on a quick winning streak. They're in like what fifth or fourth in the West. Like,
right. Yeah.
I think they're going to give it one more shot. They're not just going to blow it up.
They need KD.
I mean? That's the news. Like, if KD's available, they will make a run for him. I think there's like 15 other teams that'll make a run.
Let's go, baby. Bring back the thesis.
The rarest pick in NBA dailies right now is the 4th round Cam Thomas.
Fourth round Cam Thomas does not exist anymore.
Just doesn't.
He shouldn't exist in the 5th either.
Just wait till next year. Wait till next year when Numi's going. picking him in like we'll be doing a draft in like October, and he's gonna be like, "Yo, Cam Thomas at the 1-2 turn here." Yeah, it seems like a
there's
lock
gonna be
to
way
me.
too many cooks coming back. You got Simmons healthy. You got potentially Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith.
Since when is Simmons
He could be on the
an
bench.
impact on anybody's usage?
Cam Thomas is such a bad pick tonight compared to last night. I will say that. And
he could
he's
literally be coming
he's
off
more
the bench.
expensive
I
tonight.
mean, granted, he did the first game off the bench, but still.
Bro, he's
I'm not
he's
sure.
an
I'm not-
absolute he's an absolute lock for 30 real life points. An absolute lock.
Oh my God. Bridges gonna put him in a blender.
Dude, it's not
That-
even gonna be.
Then you know what? I think we should add Bridges to this team. I mean, it only makes sense if he's
Jesus Christ, we're jumping the shark in the worst possible way if we do that.
This is
Ben Simmons
this
is
just
kind of-
cluster of a lineup is gonna take it down tonight, and I know it.
This is a
Oh,
beautiful
man.
cluster. This is like how
LeBron breaks the
stars are
record.
made.
How about
I mean,
how
we can
about
do Bridge.
LeBron and Westbrook double
not?
thesis?
Sure. Highest game total. Highest game total, highest game total, highest team total, late night hammer. AD to the locker room 5 minutes into the game.
Hey, whoa,
get the
no, we
tweet.
do not. No, we do not wish that.
Locker room
We do
5
not
minutes
wish
in.
that.
LeBron has to play. Brody comes in, says, nah, I'll pick up the scraps. They both put up 55.
They both
Good.
did a 55.
Holy shit, man! This
Oh,
is the
Real life points.
Yeah.
if
too
this
much
team
eating.
wins, like people are just like they're gonna throw hoops out the window.
This is the absolute through and through bid equity team. I don't think I've drafted any of these guys yet.
Dude,
LeBron.
Jalen Brunson balls. Just like
Jalen
feel
Brun-
comfortable
I like-
taking
I like
Brunson all the
a
time.
lot, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I would
they
if
have
he
the
wasn't
contingency
left-handed.
if Barrett is out, which RJ Barrett is my favorite 6-rounder right now. Because he was literally everyone's scared with Jalen Brunson because he had
Oh,
a
yeah, and it was just an illness.
Illness, guys. Come on now. Like guys just come right back after an illness and play.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He was
I
a
like
late
him.
scratch.
Yeah, I mean if he gets his minutes and he's the 0.9 fantasy point per minute player he is, and just gets a little bit more, I mean he's gonna put up the points. So they're just gonna come.
Is Aaron Gordon still a good pick now that the Nuggets are fully healthy?
I think they're fine. I mean, obviously, it's going to be kind of when all the guys are healthy and they're on good teams. If it's not Jokic and then Murray, like it's kind of like which one's going to have the third best game, or maybe sneak into that game between Gordon and Porter and then these other teams. So yeah, I still on a 5-game slate, I still like them. I like the upside there.
Is Rudy out or did he? Oh no! Wow.
No, Rudy's questionable.
Really? Shocker.
Right? I know. Hey, could I interest you? Could I interest you in a LeBron and Rudy Q tag? I've never seen those before.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm blown
LeBron's
away.
first game. I wonder if LeBron's
look
first
at
game of the
this.
season they just listed him as Q. Like, oh,
They probably
just letting
did.
Yeah.
just letting you know, like he is dealing with
Rest.
Yeah. Rest.
This is
Oh.
this is crazy. Like as if people didn't know that Andre Drummond was like a 1.8 fantasy per minute player. Like he's so fucking incredible every time he gets run. And then all of a sudden he gets a little bit of run, puts up a 50 burger, and people are like, "Oh yeah, the following day better draft him up there." Do you guys like Gordon here?
I
Do
think
you
Gordon
like-
against the Timberwolves.
Okay.
Yeah, I like AG here. I like Gordon. I would like Dinwiddie. I've been mixing in. I like.
yeah, we got Cam
Sumner's-
Thomas on this one, so I don't want to mix.
Yeah, this is the
Dinwiddie
Cam
I don't wanna
Thomas is
do-
a
I don't wanna
usage
do
black hole
Sumner.
lineup.
But
Yeah. Sumner, Simmons coming back. I mean, I think Simmons is probably my favorite of the Brooklyn guys. I don't think Dinwiddie plays tonight.
yeah, no, I don't either. It's just like,
You just want a little
I don't-
swap equity.
yeah, I don't know what that opens up. I don't know who, like the back end there. You have the Rudy Gobert Q, and then you also have I'm trying to look at that. So then you also have the potential of like LeBron. But if anything else happens, you get a weird start in lineup, and you just like update projections like kind of like 10 minutes before. There's other guys that might be popping that you can kind of get in there for a swap if Dinwiddie isn't going.
This
a good
is
point.
the best take I've seen all day. Having three lefties out there.
For who?
The Knicks.
Knicks.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
Can't do
is. It's so like opposite of like the lefty baseball swing, right? The lefty stroke just looks like so bizarre, but the
I don't-
lefty,
So gross.
lefty
I don't
swing
hate
is
it as
beautiful.
much. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
it's because I literally grew up with like two
It's
lefties that play
so
basketball
strange,
nonstop,
man.
but it's just not. It's just a normal thing.
Shoot the ball right-handed like an
Oh.
adult.
Oh man, I was one of those guys who was like, I could go better driving left and then spinning left, but going upright.
Oh yeah, always
I was
like
one of
jump
those backwards
shots,
ass guys.
jumpers off
Yeah.
the left-hand dribble always felt so nice.
Yeah, that was my MO. Let's rip one puck here in a dinger. What do you guys think? Do it all.
I got time for it.
I can do the
Play
puck,
all
but
the
I
hits?
can't do the dinger. So
Okay, let's play all the hits. We're playing all the hits. And hey, yesterday on the show, Pete confirmed he's getting in the baseball streets.
Yep.
We've
Yeah,
twisted
he found
his
out. He
arm,
found out there's week 17 correlation in baseball, and now he's in.
and now he's in.
and
He's
a
like, what's
sheet
the
that
Ford
guides him
field?
to-
What's the Ford field?
Yeah, that's what he was asking us. He's like, "Is there a Ford Field in the NFL?" I'm kidding. But I'm
All right, let's go, Puck.
Many
I didn't know that he
have
knew
been
that.
asking.
I didn't know that
have
he knew
been
that
wondering.
reference like so well off the top, so that made me
Jeez.
smile.
He's a consumer of the content, man.
Of course.
He's a man of the people. He's watching right now.
I didn't run the model today, so but
Dave
but
so
Ham's
fun.
got the day off.
but it's because the Penguins are playing. So you just type in PENGUI in your search bar and just
And then you take
Queue 'em
Mitch
up.
Keller, Ronesy.
oh wait,
Yeah.
what? Why aren't they in the player pool?
Yeah, what's going? Who is that
Let's
guy? And
see
why was
here.
he on my screen for daily?
All right, guys.
face-off?
Let's go with the starting goalies. We're not making the same mistake today. We're
I mean,
gonna
just
look
look at who
who's
has a
confirmed
projection.
starting.
We just didn't look last time. We just fucking
Hey.
Hold on. Go to the first guy. I need to pronounce this real quick.
Oh, do they have pronunciations?
Capo. Okay, hold on. Capo. No, it's Capo.
Kakinen.
Capo Kakinen.
Kakinen.
Right?
There you go. That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian Elliott. Nice. That guy's got a nice.
That guy
name.
sucks. What a whitey. Like, get out of here, man. You're
Martin
not-
Jones.
Brian Elliott. That's a
Jones.
terrible goalie. Give me Pavel Francouz instead. Casey DeSmith. Now we're talking.
Billy
Now we're talking.
Husso? Husso? What?
I got
Who's-
no
is it-
idea. I got no read on that guy. I know he's decent this year though.
I know
Oh, all the
he's
sickos
decent.
in here. Hey, GA's had that red badge for a minute, but I don't think we gave it that shout.
GA doesn't-
Shout that it
Good,
deserved.
whatever,
GA
dude.
GA
GA should have had that years ago. Whatever. There's not too many big favorites other than Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you know that Edmonton has two of the best players that you've ever heard of in your life?
Never heard of the guy. I've never
Mike Trout,
ever.
Shohei Ohtani.
Draisaitl. That's such a sick name.
Yeah, it is.
Leon too. Like, damn, that's an all-time hockey name.
Leo. All right, who else is on the slate tonight? We got McKinnon. We got all the
Sid.
goats in here. We got
It looks like we got a
Crosby.
back-to-back from the
Hammer.
boys in blue down there in Tampa.
Ooh,
Boys
back
in
to
blue.
that. Yeah, but this is puck. Nobody's
Is this a
resting.
3-game slate? Is this what we're looking at? Do they play large slates ever in the NHL? I
Dude,
swear
there's so many games. No, there's like 6 or something, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I swear I see like
3,
small.
4, 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a
6.
9-game slate. Okay, 6.
All right, what do you guys think?
That's actually
We
a
go a
perfect
little
amount, I like
rogue
that.
here. We go a little rogue, and we build out one of these teams that nobody else is building out.
Sounds like right up your alley.
Take the Penguins.
The Penguins. People will be building the Penguins, though.
Nah, they're available right there. Crosby, boom, against
I
Colorado.
know Mikko.
Okay.
Mikko Rantanen is somebody that I know DJ
Yeah.
hits his hires a lot.
Okay,
Um,
we're gonna Mikko Rantanen's so nice. I got a plan. Here.
Guide us.
Trust me.
Talk
Trust
to me,
me.
Goose.
We can't tell Freezer the plan though, because we know Freezer's watching, even though he never chats in the Discord, never chats on the stream. We know
I
he's
get
watching.
his emails.
We know he's
I get the promos for the feedthefreezer.com. It's like the freezer needs you,
Stop,
like your
Nick.
freezer and all this stuff. And it's like at the just
Your freezer.
at the I swear it's at the trollest of times. Like it swear it's when I'm deep in the streets drafting and he's in there, I'll just get a promo email. And
he's like DDoSing
yeah,
you.
I'm like
trying to clog your Wi-Fi with push
I'm like,
notifications.
brother, that's not suspicious at all. Like
Now when you see him, you need to send him a bunch of support emails like help, dot. And just spam.
Fuck, there goes my plan. I was like, yo, we'll go ranting in Makar and then build out some weird stash.
Makar.
Every day at
Sid.
around lock, just
Sid.
help.
Sid?
Help.
For
Sid
me,
the
baby.
kid?
That's
Come
the
on.
easiest click.
Sid the kid who's no longer a kid?
He's still the kid. I don't know how
Game
Sydney's
boy?
allowed to play hockey. He's like the NHL's Tua.
That's true. Well, it's okay. He had him before, like they cared, so they don't care. You know, if he has another
Dude,
one,
it was
then
bad. There was like years where he was like, "I'm nauseous 24/7."
Yeah,
like, I can
didn't
barely
he
skate.
miss a good season? Didn't he miss a season or something?
Or
was that not for the
like
concussions? Was that maybe a different injury?
Yeah,
But yeah. I know he always had the headaches and injuries.
Yeah, he's one bump away from like retiring.
Man, you guys are so slow at drafting in the puck streets. We need some rapid fire here. We need some action.
What's good?
They're lost
Freezer
without
every
the-
single
without
draft
the
he's
model.
in just grinds it down to the last and doesn't even.
I know, which is like strange.
He's probably just doing 100, right?
Well, yeah, no, I mean that's
Or
fine,
auto
it's just-
drafting.
but you know when he's in there, when you get Freezer and they're one of the I'm not trying I forget who it is because some of them are snap. It's Freezer and someone else like back to back, and it's all of a sudden like you're just sitting for days on end. Like if they're on like the corner, you're just sitting there for a good like 2 minutes before your pick.
Yeah. Okay, so Getzel's
Letang
already
is nice.
gone.
Genny's nice.
Yeah, I know anyone in that with that
Genny.
hit is nice.
Everybody,
Genny
Genny
is
is
the equivalent of saying Vic.
No, it
I'm
isn't.
letting
Not
him-
in Pittsburgh. Everybody calls him
Genny.
Genny Malkin.
His name
Wow,
is
that's
calls him
Gino.
hilarious.
Evgeny.
Everyone
That's
calls him
hilarious. The
Gino.
first thing I see on my phone when I click it is Victor Oladipo on a report, and I just hear Vic again.
Yeah, Letang has a
Genny.
30 burger in his bag. I didn't know I knew he was nice. I
Yeah,
didn't know he was
Steve,
nice like that.
GA knows what's up. You call him Gino.
Malkin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone calls
it
him
is.
Gino.
Yeah, it is Gino.
Okay, we could put Nichushkin in here because he's on that line, right?
Sure.
Oh no, Brett Boy took him in front of us. We can't.
Do we take that POS?
We gotta go
Pat
rogue
Kane?
here. We gotta go rogue.
Jack Campbell? No, it's a goalie. Bro, Jack Eichel's nice. What about Jack Eichel?
I'm trying
You
to
don't wanna
scroll
play to
the
win?
down, man. All right.
All right, scroll down. Don't listen to me.
I was
Don't
trying
listen
to.
to the model.
I was trying to go like way down and find like the team that nobody was on tonight. Like
Well,
like
there's
the
a lot of
Kraken, man.
toss-up
Like the
games,
Kraken
that's a
are
good
good.
spot. That's a good
Kraken
idea
are good.
because a lot of these games are pick'ems right now, from according to my book. So if
Mhm.
you want to get crazy, there's probably teams that are undervalued that definitely shouldn't be. So
Well,
Listen to John.
Sorokin's so nice though, like as a tendy. So you probably don't want to do that. But like, I don't know, getting weird and like taking some Kraken against the good tendy, or like maybe we don't have to even go that far. Maybe just taking like
well, he's unconfirmed.
maybe we could have taken like some Predators here.
Yeah, Preds are nice.
Yeah, like Matt Duchene, Nino Niederreiter.
Yeah, baby. X Wild, he's great. Legend.
I love when there's a name that I vaguely am familiar with. They're immediately my favorite player.
We go from Nino Niederreiter to Cole Smith. Just the
Cole Smith.
the
The
contrast.
most American name ever.
The contrast in names, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. You get
Right.
a guy in the NBA that's Giannis Antetokounmpo versus.
I need a French.
fucking-
I need some more French Canadians or something, man. That's what I need.
The last 2 days I watched a little bit of that Shoresy show, and I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm this dude. This is fucked.
What's that show?
Have you guys seen that show?
No, I don't even
Like
know what
a-
it is.
It's like a beer league hockey show where like There's only like 6 episodes, and this dude Shorzy is like the main character, and he just talks like an idiot, and
What's it on?
I don't know, to be honest.
You don't know where you're watching your television? Like, how do you get there? Is it on Netflix?
It's on Crave, but I don't know if you guys got Crave.
You don't know how you're watching your television? The way that you just said that was hilarious.
Rust is good. Rust, man.
Rust? 1v1 me Rust?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Small Matt.
No, I'm pulling rank on Rust here.
Don't we have a Kraken or no?
No, we don't.
Oh, we thought about it.
Yeah, we thought about it. Let's go with the Knights here. Let's go. I want to scroll down, man.
I want to get your boy here. And one thing I do want to touch on before we do leave, there, as John would say, irons in the fire for that golf. Our boy Chris is making that sheet. We've been talking. We've been doing a bunch. He is swamped for his busy season right now. So we've been trying to figure out times, and I'm going to talk with these boys, but a night stream is kind of seems the best for him.
Okay.
So, and that might be
that's different.
Sometime later night this week, we're thinking. So we're still trying to iron that out. I'll talk with you boys, but what's worked best for him. So that sweet golf stream, everything albatross, everything. And he also wants to give some nice takes for the next day's round as well. But
I know nothing about golf, PGA. So
we'll be doing that. And the only reason it's nice because I think it works best for him for his schedule. He can't make anything work, and we want to get that out. So
nice
for all you the golf nerds out there, and the casuals, even like myself, that just want to get that good info. So we'll have it all, and the sheet will be unleashed. Looks great. Any casual person that knows nothing, Nez and John, they can literally just get helped out.
I will not take that shade. I can talk a lot.
I don't care if you can name. I don't care if you can name any golfer. Hey, Badge Bro is like golf, like a golf weekend, like with the whole Badge Brigade or something like that.
There you go.
That's gonna be future.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'd get banned from a course.
Super Bowl, waste management.
You like this weekend? I was like, I look outside my window as it's sleeting.
Super Bowl, waste management. Then pitchers and catchers on Monday. Then hang around for a weekend. Spring training, NASCAR race. Arizona, we're there for a month. Let's go,
brother. Do you think I'm just made of I'm just shitting out gold? The ROI is gonna be all right, boys. Well, I got to peace out, so I'll talk with y'all later. So everyone have a good day.
7 spots. Peace, Numi.
Peace, Numi.
7 spots for the old
dinger.
Dinger.
Is snap filling. Come on, let's go.
5 spots for the old Dinger. They're going fast. Get them while the getting is good. A little word to the wise there. If you're going to try and build out a Vegas first line power play / line combination, they're both centers. So don't wait till the last second to look at the positional designation and end up with a Riley Smith on the other team. Don't do that.
What about Kessel? Isn't Phil Kessel or what's his name?
But Phil Kessel's on the other line too, no?
Yeah, no, he is. He's just hilarious. He's just a hilarious guy. So former Penguin, just a man's man.
Yeah, you want to know Phil Kessel's story?
You don't have one.
Yep, I do. I got a picture with him too, and he looked fat as shit. He was
obviously. I mean, otherwise I'd be like, you didn't get a picture with Phil Kessel.
He looked so overweight in the off season.
In the off season,
I was playing. Yeah, it was during the Stanley Cup Finals. It was a long time ago. It was like LA versus, I want to say New Jersey in the finals. This is probably like 8, 9, 10 years ago, something like that. And I'm sitting at the Aria, waiting for a feeder game going into like the big game. So I'm playing poker, and like this guy sits down. And he's wearing an AC/DC shirt, kind of a chubby, like kind of looking at him like, this guy kind of looks like Phil Kessel, but it's like, nah. And he's like,
it could be Phil Kessel or a guy on like a 12-day bender.
Right, yeah.
Either one.
Literally. And I was like, yo, you want to start this game? Like, you want to just play while like see if it fills kind of thing. Cause you like, a lot of guys don't like to play like shorthanded, right? They'll just wait until more people show up to start a second game kind of deal. Anyways, it's like, oh yeah, I'll play heads up. Like, I was like, oh fuck yeah, let's go, let's play heads up. So I just start chatting while we're playing heads up for a bit, and like we're watching the puck, and I'm like, yo, you got any vested interest in this game? And he's like, nah, man, I hate hockey. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. You don't hate hockey. I know who you are. And he's like, damn it. He's like, damn it. Are you Canadian? I was like, yeah. And he's like, fuck, no one recognizes me here. And then he was just like,
are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. So then we played heads up for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 hours, just playing 1v1 and crushing beers together and watching the Stanley Cup final. And then we got moved to the big game after, like when there was finally a seat. I actually let him just have the seat after we'd played heads up for maybe 2 hours, something like that, 3 hours. Yeah, it was fun.
Wow. You're a gentleman.
Yeah, it was good. He was okay. He wasn't great. He was okay.
I bet he's just out there for fun. I don't see him.
Oh, for sure. But he was
grinder.
like he was competent though, because they used to play like this, not like a tournament series, but like a charity series that was on TV here, where they'd get like all the like hockey players to like play games and stuff and then televise it. So it'd be like Jeremy Roenick and like all these like old D-gens, like these old heads that were like good hockey players. Because I mean, like, come on. There's a little bit of crossover between the old Gamble and Buck players.
Oh yeah. Amongst all the sports.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So he was decent. Like he was well versed.
That's cool.
All right, let's rip. I have not done a fast dinger in a long time.
Really?
We got some household names in here. Yeah, I mean, any fast drafts that I've been doing have been football or basketball, and then everything for baseball has just been slow drafts that I'm like perpetually on the clock. And now I just have way too many slow drafts open that I'm like, oh man, why'd I start all these? I wish I had just done fasts.
I learned my lesson on slow drafts. Like I'm in a bunch of warm-ups, and honestly, like I'm kind of just like going in, getting a look at ADP, and then just like taking the top player on the board. I just like, because I don't want to use my brain power building like the $3 team whenever I know I have to draft. Because I want to max. If I have to draft 150 dingers, like I don't want to put myself in a mind pretzel. So I don't even want to like critically think. I just, but it helps me stay into with ADP. But if anybody in the chat, I don't know, this is your entry. If they have any ideas as far as what kind of builds we should try, definitely let us know. But otherwise, we can just take this as it comes. But there's been some big ADP shifts. If you haven't been here in a minute,
I've noticed the ADP shifts between contests. So like I have like some warm-ups open, and I still have some old, what was the $5 one, the bullpen?
Yeah.
I still have some of those open, which have the old ADP because it's a different contest. So
you
can
really?
See the difference between the two in real time.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I would kind of bouncing back and forth. And like when you move around, it's like, wait, I thought this guy was here. But like Corbin Carroll is a big one. Like, I mean, we're talking about a guy who was in like the 120s, the 110s, and now is in like the 60s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably. I mean, it is a little too rich.
It's a little rich
for a rookie. Like Julio Rodriguez and peak steam when we knew. Like, I know we didn't have a lot of time to jump up last year, and not a lot of drafts for him to jump up, but he didn't even get that treatment when we knew he was playing. Like, that is just really, really rich. And now he's like a not a do not draft, but at ADP is.
Yeah.
And this is such a hilarious start.
Yeah. Like just Julio at 9 and just kind of like, well, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, outfield is going as it usually does. Run. But yeah, but with outfield bull run plus Julio at 9, I think makes sense. I don't take a lot of Julio though. If he falls at 9, I'll take him, but I usually take all of these outfielders before him. And
Acuna at 6. Wow.
So are you like worried about Acuna?
Not really.
I'm not at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I am worried about Vlad. Vlad Jr., I think, should scare the hell out of people. Like not like in a big way, but I think he's a second rounder easily. And for him to go mid first, I just don't think is warranted. I just don't think people understand the circumstances in which he played baseball 2 years ago.
Yeah, we're talking Dunedin plus Buffalo, where he hit all his home runs and looked like he was going to be like this next 50 homer guy, and also hit for average and also hit for, like it looked like he was total package, but he played in like these offshoot mini versions of Coors Field, basically, is what Dunedin was. From a park factor standpoint, like Dunedin is mini Coors. And that's not where he plays baseball anymore. Though they are adjusting the walls in Toronto.
They are. Yeah. So that will be interesting.
Wow, weird to see Goldschmidt out here. I still just can't stop clicking Tatis's name. Like I'm just buying it. Corbin Burns, you could twist my arm and we start with an ace here. Either one I'm fine with. Let's take Burns.
Okay. Burns is safer because Tatis, I was grinding a lot of rates and barrels, and it's nice because Eno is just like a robot, and I mean I live and breathe baseball. Eno Saris just is a nut. And he was talking about this Fernando Tatis wrist injury that most everybody knows about. He had like a second surgery on it, and they put a different type of screw in it because there wasn't getting a lot of blood flow to the bone in the hand. So like he is probably like an outlier that like it does like wrist injuries can really mess up a player's trajectory. I think Tatis is if there's anybody that's an outlier to that rule or an exception to that rule, it's probably Fernando Tatis, especially in this lineup that he is in. But he kind of scared me a little bit hearing that talk.
I tend to agree with that, I guess.
But like, dude, for Vlad Jr. though, real quick, just to go back to that, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I would take almost all of these infielders over Vlad Jr. I think right now, with the park and he hits way more ground balls than most first basemen do. By the way, like,
the ground ball rate is what's the scariest part about his profile because he hits the ball hard and. The power is there, but he just pounds it into the ground now, right? That's the biggest thing for me. But yeah, I mean, we're splitting hairs when we're talking like first round, second round, whatever.
We are.
But like, I would take. I mean, I like Jose, Turner, Freeman, Vlad. Like, I think it would be like that for me, and then. If you had good news on Tatis, I'd take Tatis over all of them, I guess. But we don't. And that'll be baked into the price all year long. The one that's been really jumping out to me, two have been jumping out to me. The thrust up of Jordan, I totally get it. Like, there is nothing in his profile that I don't like other than the knee injury history. But Jordan he was my favorite value at ADP. Now he's thrust up so high that it's just kind of like, gross, right? That one. And then the other one for me is Ohtani. I've said this in the group before. Ohtani could be the best player in baseball, period. He could be the one who sells all the seats. He's a marvel. In our contest, when he doesn't pitch, why am I taking on the risk of a pitcher's injury threshold alongside a hitter profile that's very similar to like 9 other guys around him? Why am I taking that 40% added injury risk because he's a pitcher? What is the difference in drafting? What is the difference in drafting Acuna, Trout, Mookie Betts, Julio, any of these guys? What ceiling does Ohtani have that those hitters do not have? So why add on a 40% injury risk because he's a pitcher?
It's a really good point. I think it's kind of and sort of a similar conversation with Tatis, right? Like, these guys and other injury prone players, you could group a ton of them into that kind of category. Where it's, but like you said, it's like, what do their ceilings have? Well, truthfully, an Ohtani offensive ceiling with Mike Trout healthy, with the added pieces to that Angels lineup, is probably like really, really nuts. Like there's a chance that if the Angels are fully healthy and Ohtani's hitting, that he just has a 2021 type season where he went absolutely new. I mean, he went off last year too. Don't get me wrong. Interesting tier here. I will say my vote is Randy, but I can do anything.
Okay. Let's take Randy then, because you voted for him. Because this tier is almost a tier that I've been trying to skip, and I end up with a lot of third round, second starting SP over this grouping, and I thrust up. Definitely not Bieber. I thrust up like this kind of grouping here, even over Cease. Like, I think Cease has major control problems. I think his stuff is electric, but I don't think he has that workhorse ace ceiling that I would actually rank them Woodruff, Verlander, McClanahan, like that for me. But yeah, I've kind of been off. It would have been funny to pair Michael Harris with Julio here, because that would have been my most unique start period, because they're both on my fade list at current ADP.
Michael Harris for me, this for sure.
Yeah, they don't really their price is just a little too expensive for me. So what I've been doing a lot of is third round ace like that, and doing Woodruff, Verlander, or McClanahan, and then taking Luis Robert in the fourth, because I like Luis Robert's ceiling over that entire group.
I'm with you, but now I'm like, dang, we get him at pick 40, and it's a stacking partner. Right? We have Acuna, do we not?
No, we missed on
Julio.
We have Julio.
Okay.
Let's do it, because I mean, if you're gonna take him, and I haven't taken him, I don't think I've taken him once this year. And if you're gonna take him, you may as well take him at 40.
Yeah.
But I think he is someone who we can just keep seeing the slide on.
I agree. I don't think he's necessarily a falling knife. I just don't think he should be. I think pick 40 is where he should be going. It's definitely not as big of a gap as it appears between him and Springer and Adolis and Robert. Like, it's not this big of a gap at all. But when you're in the app and you're drafting, it kind of seems like going down 10 picks over Harris seems like, oh my gosh, like, can I really do that? Like, I feel like I'm giving up too much. Like, you're definitely not.
Right. Yeah,
but
exactly.
But waiting but now we get him at pick 40. That's pretty sick. You know, if this Braves team should be absolutely nuts as far as their lineup goes.
Yeah, Nick, I'd be interested to hear the bull case on Cease and Bieber versus that tier. I guess the only holes I can poke in Verlander are age related. T-Bear was asking in here. Yeah, Terrence is saying something about Mets historical effect and blah, blah. The only thing that scares me about the Mets in general is their medical staff. They have handled pitching so poorly over the last 10 years. But that being said, a guy like Verlander, a guy like Scherzer, these 40-year-old horses who have just done it year in and year out, I'm not worried about them in terms of like their conditioning, their usage. They're built for 180 every single year, and to throw faster than Fox. So I mean,
yeah, I think some of that Mets injury stuff, it seems a little too, the way how often it happens, it seems like it's a little too fishy to just be noise. But I'm willing to chalk it up to noise whenever we've got Scherzer and Verlander in, and I know that they're really old. But as far as like the injuries, the innings you can expect from them, like you shouldn't expect 200 innings. We're not going to get 200 innings from more than like 4 pitchers maybe this year.
Right.
So if you get 200 innings, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think what you are hoping for is like a 180 innings out of those guys and a ton of quality starts, a ton of W's. And that is like is really the cheat code for pitcher scoring is innings, quality starts and wins.
And wins.
Yeah. Ks are obviously huge too, but that's more or less, a nice bonus if you can get all those other three, because you get a guy like Max Fried who like just filled it up from like the quality start and win standpoint and is a really good pitcher, but the strikeout profile is not the same as a guy like Strider, but they come with different risks too. And Cease, like you said, the control issues I think could, like, he's been pretty lucky on the side of variance considering like his profile. I think if you get a couple starts where he's walking guys and then he has bad home run luck as well, things could get ugly for Cease, I think, in some starts, but he's obviously filthy, but the control issues are real.
In terms of like this whole grouping, like I'm just looking at all the purple that just went in the last like 3 rounds here.
Yeah.
Like I feel very safe with like a name like Luis Castillo over someone like Dylan Cease. I don't know why. I can't fully articulate. I know the K rate and I know the stuff metrics will favor Dylan Cease in some regard, but like Luis Castillo throwing his slider more and less of the changeup and moving to Seattle just really feels good.
He's throwing the change less?
Less, yeah. It's been since he moved, it's been fastball up, slider down, and really bought into like what the Mariners have been preaching in terms of like stuff. Like,
damn, I mean, I thought his change
Mariners
was like
have been
so filthy
good.
though.
Yeah, it had been in the past. Like it had been.
I guess I didn't realize that like,
yeah, they kind of flipped the narrative on him a little bit and be like, hey, try this kind of deal.
Yeah, like your slider's dirty too. Like try throwing that.
There is a name here that I really, really like in this grouping. And I think I would like to go ahead and select him. I think Christian Javier, I think Christian Javier is Spencer Strider with a discount.
Yep, I was literally going to call him like budget as far as ADP goes. Budget Spencer Strider. He's so nice.
He's a way more stomachable price. The strikeout rate is insane. He plays on the Astros, where wins and quality starts are going to go a long way. They've ramped him up each of the last 2 years. I'm all in on Christian Javier right now at his current ADP.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that's such a good comp to compare him to Spencer Strider as far as their profiles go. 2 guys that I'm picking a lot of, but Javier you can get like 3 rounds later. Very similar in their pitching profiles too. Both like mostly 2-pitch pitchers.
2-pitch.
Strider throws harder, but Javier, they both throw. They're both fastball slider pitchers. And I think I love a guy like Javier where he's not like a fast, like he's not a flamethrower. I don't know if people like know this about him, but like he has a league average fastball as far as velocity goes, but the ride that he gets on his fastball is just like out of this world. And like you saw it in the World Series. I mean, guys just swing underneath his fastball, like pitch after pitch. It's insane. And I don't know if there's going to be a change in swing paths and approaches with players where they try to attack that like hard to hit type of ride. But like, man, guys just cannot touch it.
Xander Bogaerts' name stands out to me here. I really wanted Chris Bryant to come back. He is one of my favorite targets at ADP in this range.
I could go Nimmo or Bogaerts.
I think Bogaerts' name stands out to me. We don't have an infielder yet. We got 3 outfielders. Bogaerts just feels like getting him in this like 60 range on that team. Like everything has gotten better for Xander Bogaerts, except
the park. Yep.
Yeah. Everything has gotten better for him except for the park. And if we can get, model of consistency with, 20, let's call it 28 home runs from an infield position there, hitting in the middle of the lineup with the counting stats attached to that. I mean, he's a guy who's going to fringe hit for average. Not that it matters as much on this site, but just in general, getting on base and getting hits matters. I
think he should have an awesome amount of counting stats as far as like runs and ribbies go. Even if he's like having like an average season, just based on the players around him. I think he's just, I mean, obviously he's a great hitter. I'm really excited to see what he does outside of Fenway to see what he does. Cause I mean, they were talking about on Rates and Barrels a little bit about him, like using the wall, because it kind of turns, because it has an interesting effect. It's like, it's going to decrease your home runs, but it's going to increase your average. It's going to turn like fly balls into
doubles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I think Xander's just such a good player. It's just it will be interesting to see how he does outside of Fenway more than he has in the past. And
do we think he plays? Do you think he plays shortstop? Like, do you think, because Kim is an elite defender, I don't think they entirely cut Kim out. I think the sentiment is probably going to be for Tatis to be a DH to start the year until he's like fully healthy after the suspension, and then kind of transition into the outfield. I imagine it'd be something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought Kim. I was confused because, well, I wasn't confused. I was just mistaken. I thought Kim had played like a little outfield last year. He doesn't. He didn't. He's but he is an elite glove in the infield. And from what I've heard and seen, it seems like Bogarts is going to play short, which I find interesting. I don't know if that'll stick all season, just because Kim, I thought, was the better defender, but We'll see. But on roster resource right now, they have, if you look on Fangraphs, they have Kim as like the projected leadoff for the Padres. Just know that's not real. That's not the truth.
No. Nick bringing up some good stuff in the chat there. The Shane O'Mac injury stuff is real. He was not fully healthy to end that season last year, and I am a little worried about the carryover. He is going to be a big like spring guy, like let me see it in spring, and then we'll see if his ADP goes all the way to the second round because we see it in spring, because he does have that level of stuff. Maybe not second, maybe just like consistent third, gets the Strider hype bump. The Verlander stuff is very interesting because like the Verlander knock for me is like, what you're saying here is like the xERA being higher, and that the K's being down. I can totally understand that, and I understand the fact that he's getting up in age, but like he's still fucking Justin Verlander pitching beside Max Scherzer. Like, these guys want to go out there and air it out for like 2 more years, and I'm just going to keep betting on them to do so. I know we could deep dive the profile. I know it's trending downward, but we have to remember that like trending downward from Hall of Famer is still like a 4th round pick,
like first ballot.
Yeah, it's still a 1st round pick or 4th round pick.
He's still so elite. I mean, the whip was a .83. He was a monster last year. And like, and what is a full run
here?
Oh, sorry.
I like Musgrove slightly above the tier.
I've been taking
also
a
like
lot
Santander.
Santander or Musgrove for me.
Okay. Let's take Musgrove.
Big fan of Musgrove, man. Gets a lot of Ks. I think there's a couple pitchers going ahead of him that like I don't agree with. I think Musgrove can benefit from the positive side of variance by getting more wins on his record. He's a really good pitcher and strikes out a lot of guys. He has a really nasty curveball. He's a lot of fun. But a full run xERA over his ERA for Verlander is what? Does that go from like 2 to 3? Like, okay.
Right. Yes.
I mean, like, right. I'm not picking on you, Shane. I'm just saying like, or Nick, I'm just saying like, I mean, it's fair. I mean, it's fair. I mean, if you want to fade a guy because he's old, that's totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
Santander's legit though.
Yeah.
Him and Mullins, like Mullins definitely over him. I know people. I've even brought it up that like Mullins getting platooned is like that. Like that was a little scary last year, but I think he's gonna be up there as far as plate appearances go, is among the league leaders when the season's over. But it's Mountcastle that I don't really love from the Orioles. Shine away from him.
Okay. I do tend to take Tyler O'Neill here a lot. I'm interested in, what about a little Wander Franco mini stack with Randy?
Yes. Love that pick. It would be him or Hunter Green for me. I'm admittedly not a huge Tyler O'Neill guy, but Hunter Green is really sick too. But Wander Franco, man, like if he puts it together, you know, like his price right now is definitely not his ceiling. It's definitely not his ceiling. Because like he hits the ball hard as hell. The tool hit is real. He just isn't like the power excuse me, just the game power hasn't really translated yet. But I still think he has a 30 home run ceiling, and
Yeah.
I don't know if he's stealing a lot though.
Yeah, I don't think he'll run as much.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a good one. In this format, Wander Franco is a better player than Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, like no question to me.
And we get a 20 pick discount, and one's ADP has remained basically stagnant, and the other one has shot up 60 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's the outfield scarcity thing, but man, Mitch Haniger to Corbin Carroll, Corbin Carroll is a mystery box. He could be anything. He could even be, healthy Mitch Haniger.
Right. Yeah.
It's
right.
like, what are we? I mean, the speed is there and everything, and he's fun. He's exciting, but
yeah, in a categories league, it makes a little more sense to me where you weight steals so heavily. And I think what's happening, and we're getting a little influence from like the NFBC crowd, and we're getting a little influence like that coming into this market. And it's the classic hype train associated with rookie. And I like Corbin Carroll. I think he's probably the odds-on favorite to win National League Rookie of the Year. I think he has a clear path to everyday at-bats, though we do think it's a little more loaded in Arizona than the market does tend to think, or at least I've said that on here before. I don't know, man. I just
if he got off to a slow start, like he's probably going to lose ABs early. Like, and, he could end up getting platoon because they have an odd number of like competent outfielders in Arizona.
Yeah.
So like if they want to give him a short leash, they totally could. And it wouldn't be the first time we've seen a rookie struggle to start the year. We saw it with some of the best rookies last year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we saw it with Joe Adell every single year forever.
Poor guy.
Oh man.
Still going to.
Yeah. But the thing with that too is that Ketel Marte is currently scheduled to play the infield. Ketel Marte is a really good outfielder, right?
Yeah, if they needed to.
If they need to make adjustments between like McCarthy, between Pavin Smith being a strong side platoon option, there's all these different ways in which that lineup can get really creative that if they're in contention, they're not just going to ride them every day to struggle, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They are in a position where they're not great, but that lineup got better and they are trying to win. They just haven't necessarily gone all in, but it's not a bad lineup over in Arizona at all.
Yeah. And they got a nice pitching staff too. Like that's the front end of that pitching staff can contend, right? Maybe not in the NL West just because it's so loaded, but that you add Lourdes Gurriel to that outfield, right? Like he's every day in left field. You add Kyle Lewis, who, why can't Kyle Lewis challenge Corbin Carroll for at-bats? People have been jumping up and down for Kyle Lewis. Like he's a former AL Rookie of the Year. He was Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. And
was he? He won the award?
Yeah. And he's had the injury history and he's had this sort of thing. But why can't Kyle Lewis go to Arizona and have the exact same career path and resurgence that Ketel Marte had coming from Seattle, going to there, seriously. Yeah, I'm open to anything here.
I like these first basemen at the top of the queue. More low than Crone.
Okay. This is gonna be the team that John never drafts.
Okay.
If we take Lowe here,
because Lowe's a good pick, dude.
I haven't taken it. I loved him last year. We talked about it. You and I talked about it so much last year, how much we loved Nathaniel Lowe in that lineup. We loved the profile. He hit the ball so damn hard. Nobody was going to be there to take at bats away from him. He made a lot of sense to me as a 16, 17, 18th rounder. A lot of those things still hold true this season, right? It's the price tag for me that I'm taking CJ Crone over him every single time. Give me the Coors and give me the 50 homer upside. That's what I want.
I think what I would take over Crone is that Lowe is going to be more consistent, and Crone has more injury risk, and Lowe I think has a much better lineup. And I know he doesn't
Mhm.
play at Coors, but I think people are kind of underestimating like Josh Young's impact, the rookie third baseman there. Jonah Heim
Mhm.
is a really sick player. And for me here, I would right now I'm saying Matt Chapman, but whatever you think.
I would like to go Charlie Morton.
Yeah,
I
that's cool
think
with me.
Charlie Morton is he's one of those like kind of middling starters with like nothing about him is going to jump off the page like insanely, but like every year more strikeouts than innings pitched, and every single
Mhm.
year 170-ish plus innings. Like if I'm building out like a sound logical staff for him, I have mentally made him the big tier break. I am so much more comfortable taking Charlie Morton right there than I am any of these other names below. And
Yeah.
for me it's become like a get my fourth starter by Charlie Morton, and Charlie Morton be my fourth starter is like where my mind's been going. Whether I'm right or wrong or whatever on any of that, I'm a big believer Charlie Morton as like my fourth starter.
Love Charlie Morton. 172 innings last year and only 9 quality starts and wins each, which is interesting for that many innings.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that, yeah, he got hard hit a
Especially
little
on
bit,
that
but
team.
yeah, but on a really good team to only like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that is due for some positive regression. Like
Yeah.
not a whole lot changed there other than he gave up a lot more earned runs. So not sure what necessarily caused that, but I mean he's not a guy, he's not like a curveball is his game. He throws filthy junk, and
Yeah.
that's what gets him over. So I think his game should age fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of age, I mean, I'm clearly just liking all old dudes right now because like
Oh, dude,
I'm
look
just
at yeah.
aping in on this. Look at this curveball spin. Woo.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just
That
interesting
slants
that he was
McCullers shit.
getting a lot of whiffs, but also getting barreled a lot last year, which is interesting. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's nice. He's nice. He feels really good about a rotation. I'm definitely the one thing that I'm taking into these drafts and applying a lot of Chris Baseball's data is definitely like I don't have more than like one quote unquote zero pitcher team type of build anymore. Like it just doesn't seem plus
That's
EV at
viable.
all.
Yeah.
The data makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I do tend to agree with that. I do like stockpiling projectable innings like early-ish and then kind of, building out. One thing we haven't talked about at length yet and that we will talk about at length is stacking in general. I think there's a misconception and misunderstanding with stacking that just putting two guys together on the same team is stacking. That is true in football when you pair a wide receiver with a quarterback, or you do something like that, or you pair two wide receivers from the same game environment that are alphas 1 and 2, 1A, 1B kind of guys. But in baseball, there's considerably less correlation between like a 9-hole hitter and like a 4-hole hitter than like they may as well just be on different teams. You get what I'm saying? I mean, maybe not to that extent because like they still benefit from like the game environment and whatever, but I do think there was a big misconception and we saw it a shit ton in the daily contest and you and I talked about it at length. How it's like people think they're stacking this lineup, but there's no correlation between stacking the 2-hole and the 7-hole.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's where there's probably some R squared to like players on the same team that are not necessarily ever in a position to hit each other in for a ribby and a run. Because of maybe the pitcher's playing bad or whatever. But the true stacking gain that you get there is whenever you have two players and one of them hits the other one in for a run and a ribby. Like that is where the true stacking potential is unlocked. And that's a good point. And it kind of helps to know. Roster resource can help you with that, but also just kind of like knowledge of the game and knowing where a lot of these guys hit is helpful with that as well. But yeah, no, that's a good point and definitely way more applicable in dailies when you get the lineups that come out and then you can then see who do I want to stack? Like who?
Here's the example and this is why it was top of mind and why I want to use it here. Here's the example. We have these three players all on the board here. We have Jake Cronenworth, who we could pair with Xander Bogaerts. Cronenworth being a lefty and potentially at platoon risk, though not necessarily, but like he's going to play every day at first base. I don't think he's going to hit anywhere in the order necessarily close to Xander Bogaerts on any given day. Ty France, on the other hand, is going to hit second behind Julio Rodriguez every single day, probably for the entire season. So I'm going to err on the France side there as a stacking partner with Julio instead of the Cronenworth with Bogaerts, even though I think the lineup in San Diego is stronger. And I do think there is some chance that Bogaerts hits fifth and Cronenworth hits sixth and that sort of thing. But I'm going to take more bankable correlation paths in being like, if I look at Seattle's roster from last year, apart from when Ty France was hurt, I would venture to guess 92% of the total at bats for the season were Ty France hitting directly behind Julio.
Yeah, he's one of their they need him to be one of their best hitters. If he's not, then things are not going to go well for Seattle. They're very top heavy. You can it doesn't Eugenio doesn't necessarily fit the build right now necessarily, but he's a guy that's going to be in the top of the order as well. They're very top heavy. I don't know the order necessarily at the top of my head, but it's probably Julio, Ty France, Teoscar, and then Eugenio, I would guess.
I think it's kind of fun to, build out that 3-man.
I guess
there.
It works. Yeah.
We could do something like that just for the sake of the stream and stuff. I do think we do need a little bit of outfield help, and we could also take the wild card at pitcher there. But I think after we just had that conversation, if this team's healthy, those guys are going to hit 1, 2, 3 every single day for the entire season.
Yeah, I think betting on
1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and then Teoscar's around there too, who will be on base or hitting them in. So I think I like betting on the upside of the Mariners there. Like it's thin-ish or it's fragile, but if all these guys unlock each other, then that's sick. I mean, that's what Julio needs to really pay off at his ADP. Is he needs his teammates around him to do their part as well.
Hey, one guy also in that same vein, this is kind of a little bit of a Mariners tangent, but just another guy in that same vein who's not getting drafted at all right now is Colton Wong. I mean, Colton Wong could hit fifth for that team all year long, or that, if things break right. I mean, the park isn't amazing, but the lineup's solid, and I don't know why can't Colton Wong be your seventh infielder? Just speaking to the depth of baseball versus the size of these contests, right?
Right. And he's gonna get a ton of plate appearances, so you can feel good about that. And he's a Gold Glove defender. He's gonna be out there. I would definitely take him over J.P. Crawford based on what we saw last year. If you're trying to
That's a good point.
find a Mariner to take, I think Colton Wong is definitely a guy to consider. You can get him in the 20th. You don't have to go too early. Yeah. But at that point, round 17 through 20, it's like, what's the difference? That's they all have the same range of outcomes.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was just like a little introduction to like some of the stacking ideas that I've been working through, is just in terms of like, we'll do a deep dive on like how many hitters we think should be stacked, how we should be stacking them, some of the stacks we like, some of the stacking partners. We're going to do a whole bunch of baseball stuff. Don't worry. There's irons in the fire, as kids are saying. But we'll be doing a lot of fun baseball related stuff coming up as soon as kind of Super Bowl's passed and that. But I don't know the optimal way to stack yet. I think it is some combination of 6 hitters on a roster and then no more than 4 on the same team, but usually capping at 3 on the same team. And then also with the stacks is not just same team, hopefully in same correlation parts of orders, and that will drive whom we stack. Right? Because like certain teams are just not going to appear stackable, right? But there are, some backstack options for a lot of fun teams, or not fun teams, for a lot of bad teams late, because hey, that's just going to be the core, and they're more correlated than the 2 and the 8 hitter on San Diego, even though we'd rather do San Diego, then we would rather do Oakland. But at least we know Seth Brown's going to be hitting right beside Roman Laureano every single day as long as they're still on the same team. Now, it's not a given that they're going to be on the same team by the end of the season.
Yeah, Laureano might play his way out of there, or Brown even. Brown could end up being a DH for somebody. I mean, he's 30 years old. He's not in line to get a new. He's just playing for the love of the game right now because he's so old. But no, that's an interesting point. I think what people might be trying to ask themselves is like trying to find this year's Orioles. And I think what made them so successful is like they were really undervalued. You could pair them together. So not only do you have a stack, but you have insane value that is crushing its ADP. So I think like, yeah, when you stack a team at cost, that's a good team and they do end up paying off like that can still reap its rewards. I know like everybody is, I think one of the easiest teams to stack right now is like the Atlanta Braves. I don't think it's bad that everybody's like trying to do it and that it's easily done. I think that if it does hit, like you can still like, you're still going to see positive advance rates by doing that. But part of the stack is also like nailing an undervalued team. So trying to find these guys that are undervalued, and Rowdy Tellez to me is one of those guys. Speak of the devil.
Yeah. I like Lance McCullers or Luis Garcia here, and then we're gonna have to play the 7 outfielder game, I think.
I think we maybe Luis Garcia. Do we want innings or upside?
I think we
should go 5. I think we should go 5 pitcher, then Luis Garcia if we want innings.
Okay. I think we want innings in this build right now. Just because we got Javier and Musgrove, Morton. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe with the Morton pick and whatever, maybe we wanted a little more upside there with the McCullers and then go 6 pitcher.
Maybe Javier is kind of a question mark, maybe, but I regardless, I think this is a 5 pitcher team. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
I feel 6, but I'm cool to try 5.
I mean, because when we have Burns and then you take like it's a lot of we did put a good amount of capital into that spot.
Yeah. Brandon Lowe to complete the Nathaniel Lowe Brandon Lau duo coupled with the mini stack here. Okay, I want to close actually before. I was just kind of joking around to make like a little Tampa stack there, but I'm thinking out loud here with some of my favorite backdoor stacks that we've been talking about here. I think Detroit is kind of a fun one with Austin Meadows, Javier Baez, and Riley Green being all available super late, and the 3 of them are probably all just going to hit in the middle of that order with a little bit of upside. They've changed the park a little bit, but it's definitely a terrible place to hit. But I mean, we're grasping at straws late in this. Colorado is one of my favorite, with Ryan McMahon going so late and Brendan Rodgers going so late. Pairing those 2 together is fun. Spencer Torkelson fits that mold as well. The double outfielder from San Fran, I think, is a good shout from the chat too. Like getting that Conforto plus Jock Peterson late feels kind of fun if you're going to pair 2 outfielders. The previously mentioned 2 Oakland outfielders paired together, kind of fun. The Boston one, yeah, that's a good one. Silas has been talking this one up. I've been mixing that one as well.
Yeah, Turner is really undervalued, I think.
Yeah.
I would say Mancini or Lau for the Tampa Bay, and then we could call it a day at infield.
Let's do the Tampa Bay thing just because we were talking about it, and then let's just rip a bunch of late outfielders and kind of make this
fill in the gaps.
Yeah, kind of make this a gross back end one.
Who are outfielders so far? I can't.
Julio, Randy Arozarena, and Michael Harris. That's it.
Dude, those are filthy though.
They're stuck.
I like doing that. Is like kind of
anchor outfield.
Like fill it out, fill out your 3 starters, and then like I like the way this team's coming out personally.
Yeah, not bad.
There's some outfielders you can take late to fill in there.
Okay, this will be fun to talk through some of those names. I want to say 2 more. Kansas City. I wanted to add to Silas's Boston one here. Do I say it?
I'm afraid of what you're going to say.
No, you know who I'm going to say. Alberto Mondesi. Throwing him in there as a 20th round pick. You could do worse. You could do worse than Mondesi in the 20th, mixed in with a little bit of stack like that. I do think he has the potential to. I do think he has the ceiling to break a calendar year, but at what point do we just give up on that dream?
I'll take him in dailies.
Yeah, that's fair. There's that one. And then the Arizona one has really stood out to me. Lourdes Gurriel, if you want to go as high as Christian Walker, by all means. But just like the Lourdes Gurriel with Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte is one of my favorite ADPs right now.
By far my favorite pick at cost in these drafts. Like by far.
Is Ketel Marte?
Oh my God, yeah.
Wow, love it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean he goes so late. If you type him in, he's still available here. I would, or maybe he went.
Yep, still there.
Yeah, dude. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Like he was battling a hamstring injury like all last year.
All year.
He's an everyday player. He's good. Yeah. Like
what else is there to say?
Dude, right? Like there's nothing to say. Like for me, he's like an auto click if I haven't built a team like this where I'm probably done at infield if I'm drafting on my own based on how we've got this team constructed. Yeah. And I'd like to fire some shots at the outfield, but it's getting really bad.
Yeah. Well, this will be fun for us to build.
But like me, I'm not a Grichuk guy. But I get he plays at Coors Field and he hits the ball hard, but he never walks. I think Austin Meadows is a really good pick. Mm-hmm. Everyday player in the outfield, good, like a decent player. Like at worst, he's a league average hitter. And for what you're looking for in outfield late, I mean, to me that's the type of guy that I'm willing to bet on. You're not going to win your league with these picks, but they can help you get to the finals.
We could bank some everyday at bats with Kike. He could end up playing the infield for a bit there with Trevor Story gone. Michael Conforto is a really fun kind of like break the slate wild card that's available late here. Adam Duvall coming off 35 homer campaign. The Trent Grisham plus Nelson Cruz mini stack is a lot of fun too. I
don't know that Christian's gonna.
I talked too long.
No. I like Conforto. I've been trying to get more Conforto in. I normally take Kike there. I want more Conforto. 2-year contract there for me is like a little bullish. I don't know why I've been talking myself into that.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
And Duvall hit 38 home runs in 2021. Last year he had a very, very, very down year. But
that's what I was trying to get at.
But him in Boston could be interesting. Like that lineup isn't terrible. But I think we're kind of banking production from Cassis that like I personally need to see.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
From a first baseman, like, it's not going to be hard for him to beat out Bobby Dahlbeck, but let me just take a look at his profile. I'm not trying to say he is Bobby Dahlbeck because I don't think he strikes out nearly as much as Bobby D does. But it's up there. He walks a lot. That's nice.
You're hell-bent on this being 5 starters?
Kinda.
And I think we go outfield again, and I think we take Nelson Cruz.
Yeah.
I think Nelson Cruz is undervalued. Do I think he necessarily has another 35, 40 home run year in him? I don't know. Probably not. But hitting, 275, 270 in the middle of that lineup, hitting the ball hard, collecting the counting stats, maybe not playing every single day at DH, but some combination of 130 games from Nelson Cruz seems, I don't know, just seems kind of nice. And a guy like Nelson Cruz only hits 3rd, 4th, or 5th, right? Like a guy like that profile, he that's all he does, right? So
Mhm.
pairing him with Xander makes like a lot more sense to me than pairing Jake Cronenworth, the before mentioned Jake Cronenworth, or Trent Grisham, who's most likely going to hit 8 or 9. So just from my mind, a stacking partner, I would air the Nelson Cruz route than those other two who both have higher ADPs.
Mm-hmm. And I like Jake Cronenworth a lot, but with Cruz, you get the outfield eligibility, and yeah, he's probably hits above Crone in this lineup. Like
Roster
Cronenworth,
Beezers currently has Cronenworth hitting 5th right beside Xander Bogaerts, so that throws all of my analysis out the fucking window.
We'll
And
see.
then
We'll
Nelson
see.
Cruz below that. Yeah, we will see. They also have Kim leading off, so
Yeah, right.
that's not a thing.
I don't know who's
It's
going to lead off there.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do because like they have Matt Carpenter as well, and they
Yeah.
could platoon like Carpenter on like a per plate appearance basis last year was like fucking Barry Bonds. Like it
Literally.
didn't make sense. It didn't make
He's
sense.
slugging like 630 or something.
His resurgence was incredible. Granted, then he was hurt going into the postseason there, and then we didn't see him. We saw the Harrison Bader show come to fruition when sprint speed and max exit velocity merge into one beautiful player in the postseason.
Dude, he slugged 720 last year.
Like that's insane.
200 WRC plus, worth 2 WAR in 40 games.
That's crazy. 2 WAR in 40 games. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with the outfield in San Diego because
right. Because I think Trent Grisham plays every day. Because I don't know who else is out. Like because they don't. He's a good defender.
Yeah, Grisham will play center. I think Grisham will play center every day, and he'll probably hit 9th. And then the rotating catcher slot will hit 8th, most likely Austin Nola, right? And then second base kind of becomes like Kim, I guess, until maybe Tatis, or you could do some fun stuff where like Cronenworth plays second, Matt Carpenter plays first,
right.
Nelson Cruz DHs, but your outfield gets thin in a hurry because it's kind of like Soto's going to be in right every single day.
Yep.
And I guess the plan will be Tatis in left every single day when that doesn't come to fruition.
I think so.
And
that's the plan.
You know, does Matt Carpenter dust off the old outfielder's mitt? I'm not sure.
Fuck no. Things have gone awry if that happens.
Marcelo Zuna is a name that jumps out to me. It's not fun or sexy, but like it's just like holy shit. We're like 3 or 4 years removed from him being like a fringe MVP candidate.
I know, right?
Kepler and Kirilloff both have like profiles I want to bet on.
They've got bad injuries. I would say Pollock for the Seattle stack.
Ooh, okay, fine. We'll do it. I think we might be overstacking there. What was that, our 4th?
Yeah, that was just a tiebreaker, honestly.
Okay, so we got 4 there. I think Pollock might be buried in that order too. I'm not a huge Pollock guy right now, but I do see the path. We got 4 Seattle hitters. We have 3 Tampa Bay hitters. That's 7. And then we have 8, 9 stacked hitters when you add in the 2 San Diego guys.
Wow.
I think that's fine. I do think there is a slippery slope to getting overly correlated here.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to put a condom on this team and take a 6 pitcher, but
I think it's fine. I mean, like
we're at 5-6-6 right now.
What pitcher is there? What pitcher's left that you're like, oh man, we got it. We got to grab this guy.
Let me see. I like Cobb for the innings. I like Reed Detmers because he was a completely different pitcher in the second half of last year after adding a pitch and came back and had the no hitter and was like just electric there. Taiwan's just kind of innings eater for me. Aaron Ashby's strikeout rate really intrigues me. Sonny Gray's ADP is way too low. Same with Drew Rasmussen, I would say. I'm not touching Soroka. I'm not touching Buehler. I'm not touching Hunter Brown, even though the stuff's electric. Jose Urquidy, Michael Kopech's kind of fun. I don't know. Like, I kind of just feel like a sixth pitcher here. Like, John Gray kind of fits this team beautifully, to be honest. Like,
He
another
would be
one
my
of those,
pick here.
like,
A lot of these guys, like I think the Angels are going to run like a 6-man rotation. I
they
heard
will because of Ohtani for sure.
Yeah, so like that.
Same with
isn't
the
like,
Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to run a 6-man.
mhm.
Yeah, let's add John Gray here, just because, like, man, he just doesn't he feel like a solid 160 innings that just feels safe.
It would be nice
this,
for him to get to 160.
Yeah, injury track record's not amazing. Fastball isn't as good as like we think it is. Like, as like a we in our minds, because when we were watching John Gray at Colorado back in the day, it was just like
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. No, he's a good six pitcher.
Yeah,
but yeah, but
there's a good one. Trevor Rogers and Erod late. I like those two names too. Moncada's going late too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that go late that I think can be really good producers for teams. That's why I love these drafts. But I kind of get stuck into drafting a bunch of Pirates late, so I miss these guys too because they're always there. Like I like when the eight, like whenever 19th and 20th rounds come, I just like queue up Mitch Keller and Roansy and just turn off my app. I'm good. Autopilot.
I love it.
They're gonna be there. I'll take them.
Oh, I love it. Let's get fun with these last ones here. We could go any which way here.
Yeah.
Here, maybe I'll read it out just so because I know it's not overly visible on the screen there. Burns, Javier, Musgrove, Morton, Luis Garcia, John Gray. Not amazing, but solid. Like, I see like a lot of innings there. Like
I think
lot
that's
of
a really good rotation.
Yeah, like I think that's. I
can
think
only start 3 of them.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I like that. Infield with Bogarts, Wander Franco, Nathaniel Lowe, Ty France, Eugenio Suarez, and Brandon Lau. I always screw up which is
Brandon
Lowe,
who?
which is Lau. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's fun. That's a lot of home run upside at the infield there, but infield always feels strong. And then Julio, Randy Arozarena, Michael Harris, admittedly, none of the guys that I really love. I love Julio. Don't get me wrong, but just at their price, don't love them. But we got a discount on all of them. And then Michael Conforto, Band-Aid, Nelson Cruz, 42 years old. AJ Pollock may as well be 42 years old. This team needs a little help at the outfield.
It does. And I got some guys.
Okay. So I think we're going to go with a 6-6-8. What do you think about that? And we ripped 2 last outfielders here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Just based because of the Nelson Cruz, AJ Pollock profiles we have on here. They have really good spike weeks, but they could also like they could dust us too. So I think getting Band-Aids for those isn't bad, and I think it actually makes sense. I like taking some volume shots at outfield just to piecemeal together a starting outfield.
I like it
on certain weeks.
I'll give you a name that I've been clicking a lot, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Brandon Marsh, former top prospect, good defender. He's going to get a path to everyday at bats this season, especially with Harper on the IL to start the first half of the year. I've been clicking his name a lot. Do you think it's stupid?
No, I think the plate appearances are there, and he's like, as far as like the quasi.
Who's your name? We got 18 seconds. Who's your
I'm warming up
here?
to James Outman. It seems like the Dodgers have a lot of young guys that they are expecting to get like everyday at bats, and Outman hit at every single level, like smashed. The strikeouts are a little concerning. But as far as like a warm body that can play outfield for the Dodgers, like he's not too bad of a click. I would take him over Trace Thompson. I think he has a little more upside than Trace, brother of Clay. But Brandon Marsh, like the thesis on Brandon Marsh though, you're not wrong. Every day at bats, batting 9th, which means right after him is Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper eventually. Like, that there's worse places to be as an outfielder. I'm trying to get some different names involved though in here. Like I said, Kirilloff, his wrist is still sore. I think he's unfortunately like dust.
Yep.
For the for my intents and purposes in best ball. I like Estoy Ruiz, the guy that the A's traded for. I think he's going to see a lot of ABs. Duran, I can't really do. Sawinski, I can.
Shocking.
I can do a little Jack Sawinski. And Kenan Smith and Jigba, brother of Jackson Smith. I highly recommend people take a look at his profile. He's got a really interesting. He's not like I wouldn't take him in this.
Who'd you say?
Kenan Smith and Jigba, the brother of Jackson Smith from Ohio State. And then I also like I do like Ruiz for Oakland. I think he could steal a lot of bases.
Okay.
Nothing. Or Manny Margot with our Tampa Bay.
I panicked here with this. I was just clicking names and then didn't realize.
Margot has big games.
Yeah, Margot set the league on fire for a week last year.
He does it every year. Once a week, he's like the best player in baseball.
Yeah, and with the Tampa Bay guys, I know I said the overcorrelating and this sort of thing. I don't know. Like for me, I think we needed. I was just clicking these names because they kind of like stood out from the list for me, and I kind of want to just talk through some of them with you. The Kyle Lewis like path to being good is like, are we going down this again? Like the injury history is tragic and whatever, but former top prospect, former AL Rookie of the Year. Who knows? We talked about that Arizona outfield. Same with Alek Thomas. I had outside vested interest in Alek Thomas being a the what's it called?
I thought Alek Thomas I thought Alek Thomas was a lot better than he actually was last year. I do think that he has a chance to improve this season. Like I don't think he's necessarily a 71 WRC plus guy for his whole career, but I had visions of him. Maybe I'm just like so stuck on like maybe he had like a big game in Coors or something like, and that's why like I'm just like his name is so fresh in my mind. But no, he's an interesting name for sure.
I think there's a chance that between these two, one of them's not on the opening day roster, but just something to think about. Joe Adell, former top prospect as well. Jarren Duran. I mean, what's holding them back from being a contending team if he plays every day in center field? Kike Hernandez plays on the infield. Jarren Duran, I've been warming up to a lot and mixing him in late. You can make the bull case on Sawinski getting every day at bats and hitting the ball hard there. Jake Fraley, kind of fun. And wow, that's crazy. I'm looking at how many drafts have been done, but then if I go to like, man,
there they are.
slow drafts are. Oh my god. I was like, holy shit, I've only completed that many. Like I haven't completed very many at all. Wow.
Yeah, the 105 did 10 pitchers.
Oh wow.
I think he's been on Twitter too. That flood my wrist.
10-5-5 build. Interesting. Huh.
Dude, nobody knew that CSN was. Oh my gosh, he's got an interesting profile. He's a corner outfielder, so you should expect some power. But he doesn't have a lot of power. But he walks a ton. So.
Oh, all right. That was fun. We ripped every draft under the sun. You forget how long the dingers are compared to those other drafts that it's like, hey, let's rip all the sports. And then you do like a dinger and it's like, oh shit, the dinger should just be a show on its own.
Maybe. But it's nice to like put it off. Cause like you said, we got some big things coming. So we don't want to like indulge too much baseball content. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You sickos. We'll get there. We'll get there. So we're trying to nurse it.
686. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I don't know. We were just talking through those outfield. We'll talk through outfield as a positional group later because the names do kind of fall off a cliff late, and when you do what we did and end up with that like 8 outfielder build, it's like we have 3 studs and then we have a whole bunch of like maybe platoon guys. So I am gravitating towards like a lot of these like 6-7-7s and stuff like that, or like 7-6-7s where I front load outfield with those picks and front load pitcher and then just fill in the infield late. But I think that's what everybody's doing, right? So
yeah. It's there's a lot of fun ways to draft these contests, man. We'll have a lot to talk about. I'm excited I'm really excited.
Absolutely. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow on your way out the door, please and thank you. For those of you who endured all 2 hours with us, thank you so much for doing that. We hit every draft on the sun. We still got 30 of us left. Thanks for hanging in there. I mean,
we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. We know you love
Absolutely.
it just as much as us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for filling the dinger and drafting alongside us. That was a lot of fun. Our team sucks, and I paid the rake this afternoon, so you're welcome. And
because you didn't have any Pirates on it.
Yeah, it's true. We needed that Sawinski with the last pick there. All right, Nez, anything to add?
No, man. Just I'll be in the dingers all day, every day, damn near. We are almost at 100K in entry fees so far, which is how much the dinger was last year. So I just think that's really cool.
That is really cool. Yeah, let's fill this shit. Let's get some more contests going. Let's keep pushing. Go. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of football stuff come next week. Football. A lot of baseball stuff come next week. As soon as football is,
we better not be.
Yeah,
I'm not doing a goddamn big board.
We are gonna do some big boards.
I'm just kidding.
I'm making us.
Obviously, we're doing big boards, but anyways,
we're degenerate. All right, appreciate everybody being here. For myself, for Nez, for Numi, everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Good luck tonight. Peace.